Welcome to Meet the Candidate with your host, Sulani Madsen. Meet the Candidate is your opportunity to see local candidates and hear about the experiences that have shaped their lives. Meet the Candidate is a nonpartisan community project brought to you by your friends at the Ponderosa Republican Women's Club, North by Northwest Digital, We Believe, We Vote, and the McGarry Law Office, the landlord's attorney. Now, here's Sulani.
Well, welcome to this edition of Meet the Candidate. My guest is Breean Beggs, who is running for Spokane City Council, District 2, Position 2. And welcome, Breean.
Well, it's my pleasure to be here.
Well, so this is where I get to learn about everybody's life story. So tell me about where you grew up.
Yeah. So I was born in Northern California, and my father was a pastor. My mother was a daughter of a pastor, and we lived in the San Francisco Bay Area for a long time. And then my parents split up, which was a defining moment in my life, as you might imagine.
Yeah.
My grandmother, my mother's mother, took a lot of care of me, and I spent until high school in the Bay Area, and then moved to Olympia with my mom and stepfather. But every summer I spent in Chelan, Washington at my grandmother's house, and she just taught me how to live the world, slaughter chickens, grow gardens, and was just really a stabilizing force for me. I finished high school in Olympia and came to Spokane first in 1981 to Whitworth College.
And stayed?
Well, no, I loved Whitworth. I got a degree in international studies, and I stayed working afterwards at Career Path Services. I was finding jobs for high school dropouts, helping them get their GEDs, get them trained, working with employers who wanted to hire people. It was kind of a basically job finding service for people who needed jobs, and I did that 3 years, and eventually I really wanted to help people, but I felt like I could do more than just get jobs, and so I went to law school at University of Washington.
Hey, what turned you to law? Is there a lawyer in your life who impressed you?
There were no lawyers, but my grandmother is all about justice and all about the Sermon on the Mount, which is about justice. Mm-hmm. And I just had that, really raised that way. And I always wanted to make a difference for people and help them. And it seemed to me that as a lawyer, you had a lot of power to make a difference in the world.
Okay. So when you were young, was there a first job that you had, maybe in Chelan, picking fruit or something?
I was working in the orchards
in
the heat in the summer. That was really my first job. And then through college, I worked my way through college working for the school district, helping as teacher's aide, helping with disabled kids. I worked at North Central, at Rogers, at Gary, and really lived all over the city, got to know what kids needed and what great teaching was.
So there a particular teacher that inspired you in that when you were in that job?
I don't remember the names of it, but my favorite part of that job, I worked in the home ec department, and I helped developmentally disabled kids learn to sew and cook. And I was not so good at that, but I just had to stay one day ahead of them. That was what the teacher told me. And I was able to do that. And I just loved Rogers because everyone was real there. It was tough, but they were real. And that wasn't that long after till I took the job actually helping high school dropouts who had gone through some tough times get jobs.
Oh, cool. There's some interesting travel that you've done that you think has affected your worldview.
I've spent time in Mexico, Canada, Costa Rica. Washington, D.C. is one of my favorite places to travel to. I love government. I love policy. I love literally running around the monuments in D.C. and seeing the people who've inspired us in our government and our Constitution. I used to teach constitutional law at Western, just as a sideline to my law practice, and I love understanding what informed our Constitution and how we got here.
Okay. I'm searching for another good question that would grow out of your own life experience. But as a lawyer, you've had clients. I mean, obviously, without destroying attorney-client privilege, is there a client that's quite memorable to you?
Well, probably the most memorable one in Spokane was I represented the family of Otto Zem. who died in the hands of the police, and it really set off a 6-year odyssey for our police department and city of how to respond to all the folks with mental issues on the streets, even though they weren't really trained, and how to make the police department accountable to the city. And I just started, it was just a normal case, and there were two sides of the story, but then it turned out there was a video, which was new at the time. And when I saw the difference on the video versus what the police had said, I said, boy, we got to change something. And I thought that the city would just go, oh yeah, we were wrong, let's do, but they weren't. And it led to a deep conversation. But now the police department really gets it. One of the settlement things was we got training, 40 hours of training for every police officer on how to de-escalate violence, how to deal with the mentally ill, and work with social services. And really, things are going so much better in our police, and I think the community is embracing them, and we're really restoring that relationship that we all want.
Okay. Well, this is a community that has a lot of civic organizations. Are there some places that you found particularly valuable to you as an outlet for volunteering?
Yeah, well, I have spent a lot of time teaching Sunday school at all levels, from literally the nursery, just taking to them, to elementary, junior high, high school, college. I've been Sunday school teacher at Westminster Congregational, and then in my earlier years in Spokane, when I lived on the north side up at Covenant United Methodist Church. I love that. I've coached a lot of soccer. There's a
lot of soccer around here.
There is. And but I really, one of the things I do, it's not through an organization, but I just visit classrooms of all ages and talk with people about the law and government and what the ideals are and what the practical things are, and including the law school. I go to the law school a lot. So I love working with young people who want to make a difference and giving them a little bit of a sense of how they might do that going forward.
Okay. I'm trying to interpret Kent waving at me in the window to see what if he means there's 4 minutes left or we've only talked for 4 minutes. So you have family in Spokane?
Yeah. So I met my wife in law school at University of Washington, but she had attended Gonzaga at the same time I was at Whitworth. We didn't
realize that.
Didn't know that then. We have 3 children. Our son Carter is just turned 21. He's at the University of Washington. He's going to graduate soon. And then we have twin daughters, Bridget and Fiona, who are going to be seniors at Lewis and Clark High School, and love to debate. And so we have some great.
You mean formally debate or just debate their parents over curfews? Or
yeah. Mostly formal debate. They've gone to state the last 3 years, and they are sort of outclassed the parents who are both lawyers. We don't really argue with them anymore. But yeah, we have some great family dinner conversations of how the world should be and how we can make a difference in it.
Okay. Well, I think you've covered everything. I'm gonna throw the last question to you.
Sure.
And you can answer the question: why vote for Breean Beggs for Spokane City Council, District 2, Position 2?
Yeah. So I've been on the City Council now a little over a year and a half, and it is a big learning curve to join the City Council. We have to know about everything. We're making those decisions. So I really want to make good use of that, and I like to think that I'm working for what matters to people. That's what I do, and what matters most, I think people want to feel safe in their homes and their neighborhoods, on their streets and sidewalks. And I have spent 25 years as a lawyer keeping people safe in the community from criminals, abusers, dangerous drivers, dangerous streets, and sometimes even the government when it overreaches. So in the year and a half I've been on council, I've tried to take that same passion and skill set and apply it and make sure that the city really is reducing crime, it's improving our police department, it's building our roads and sidewalks, which we need, and the snow plowing. And these things, they affect everyone's life. So I'd like to keep doing that work and also continue to grow businesses and jobs throughout the city. I really think Spokane is in play for a remarkable tomorrow for all of us. And I'm hoping with people's support, I can help make that happen. So please vote to retain Breean Beggs for Spokane City Council.
Okay. Well, thank you for joining me, Breean.
Thank you.
Thanks for watching Meet the Candidate. Spokane Talks Online thanks our community-minded partners at Ponderosa Republican Women's Club, North by Northwest Digital, We Believe, We Vote, and the McGarry Law Office, the landlord's attorney, for helping make Meet the Candidate possible.